BTS News Today. That night, the sky over Seoul hung heavy, shrouded in clouds that offered no promise of stars. Dark and low, the clouds seemed to hide secrets too heavy to spill. In the quiet of the night, a black car with tinted windows cruised slowly through the Mapo district. Few knew who was inside, but minutes later, a CCTV camera near the entrance of an old building in Hongdae captured something unusual. Two figures, familiar to every army, walked silently, wearing black hoodies and masks, slipping through a shadowed alley into a long-abandoned studio. They were Jimin and Jungkook, two towering names who, that night, stepped away from the spotlight to write a story only the two of them knew the ending to. No manager, no HYB staff, no official cameras or schedules. Only courage, longing, and a monumental decision they made together. That old studio was once the secret space where they recorded their very first song together, before debut, before fame. It held the footprints of their youthful dreams, too big for their still fragile bodies. And now, more than a decade later, they returned. Not to reminisce, but to begin something new. Something not bound by contracts, not managed by executives, not dictated by promotional strategies. Just the beating of their hearts. The CCTV wasn't meant to capture history, but the footage that night became undeniable evidence that something extraordinary had occurred. Inside the studio, the grainy black and white video showed them standing in silence, facing each other. Jimin held something tightly in his hand, a crumpled piece of paper, folded over and over. Jungkook opened his own laptop, connecting it to the dusty old audio system that, somehow, still worked. Then they sat cross-legged on the wooden floor, and soft piano chords filled the space. There were no lyrics, only melody. But from the way they looked at each other, you could feel it. Something big was happening. They barely spoke, only exchanged nods, quiet smiles. The CCTV had no sound, but their expressions were louder than any scream. According to a security guard who stumbled upon the footage days later, they were in that studio for nearly 4 hours. No one from HYB knew they were there. The car they used wasn't from the company, but borrowed from an old friend they trusted. And what shocked everyone even more, the next morning, Jungkook's Instagram briefly posted a photo of the night sky with a short caption, "It begins." Within 5 minutes, the post was deleted. But of course, ARMY had already saved it. Speculation spread like wildfire. Were they leaving HYB? Was this a secret project outside the label? Or was this a hidden confession about a bond that went deeper than professionalism? Then, an unexpected source emerged, a former HYB trainee and technician who used to work in that very studio. In an interview with a small online media outlet, he revealed he'd run into Jimin and Jungkook that night. According to him, they weren't there to reminisce, but to record a song they wrote themselves. The track wasn't registered in HYB's system, wasn't produced by any in-house staff, and was fully created by the two of them. Jungkook did the mixing, Jimin hand-wrote the lyrics. Even more stunning, the technician described the song as incredibly personal. The lyrics spoke of two people tired of being each other's shadow, finally choosing to walk forward. This time not as idols, but as humans. One line moved him to tears. "If the world denies us, let the night hide us, we'll keep singing, even if no one hears." When this news broke, HYB released a short statement. Jimin and Jungkook are enjoying personal time and are not currently engaged in any official solo or subunit projects. But this only deepened public suspicion. Days later, the hashtag #Jikook project was trending across all platforms. Fans began compiling evidence, including the CCTV footage that soon leaked online. In the 47-second clip, Jimin and Jungkook exited the studio with quiet satisfaction. Jimin appeared to wipe his eyes. It was unclear whether from exhaustion or emotion. Jungkook gently patted his back, and they exchanged a small smile. There were no words, but the image spoke volumes. Something had shifted between them. That night had changed something. One moment particularly stunned viewers. The final seconds of the footage captured Jungkook writing something on the studio's old wooden wall with a black marker. Later, fans who managed to sneak into the building found the message. "We start from zero again, together. JK and JM." That simple sentence shook the fandom. It left more questions than answers. The following week, rumors exploded. Some claimed the duo was launching an independent label. Others believed they had secretly recorded a mini-album to release without notice. A few insiders even hinted they might publish music anonymously to prove their voices could stand on their own, without BTS behind them. But above all theories, what truly resonated was the emotional closeness Jimin and Jungkook displayed that night. This wasn't just about music. It was about taking bold steps outside the comfort zone. About honesty. About the yearning to be seen as themselves. In a world that constantly demanded perfection, they made a shocking decision that night to return to the dream that once lit their hearts before the industry swallowed them whole. And perhaps that's why this night, without a stage, without an audience, became one of the most significant in their history. A night where silent action spoke louder than any headline. A night when the boldest decision wasn't made through official announcements, but through quiet footsteps caught by a voiceless camera. The world could only wait. Wait to see what would emerge from the courage of two hearts walking together, once more, without anyone's permission. But that night was only the beginning of a storm no one saw coming. Days after the CCTV leak, something even more astonishing surfaced. An anonymous audio file was uploaded to an independent Berlin-based music platform, posted by an account named Simply Zero Dust. Its description read only, "Made in the dark, heard by the stars." But ARMY knew. From the vocal timbre impossible to mistake, from the subtle harmonies and breath control, from the emotion embedded in every note, they knew it was Jungkook and Jimin. Even without names, without official acknowledgement, the track felt like a secret message sent directly to those who truly listened with their hearts. The song wasn't a typical BTS-style track. No explosive beats, no commercial hook. Just soft piano, acoustic guitar, and the faint hum of an old tape reel in the background. Like an intimate room where two people poured out their pain and love in the same breath. The lyrics were poetic and painfully raw. One line went viral instantly. "We never chose the silence, but silence chose us first. In the noise we found each other, now we disappear in verse." Korean music critics soon weighed in. One senior producer, who once worked with BTS, said in an interview, "This song is too intimate to be commercial. It's not music strategy. It's two people saying, 'This is me, this is you, and this is our truth.'" HYB remained silent. No further clarification, no statements. Even when the song climbed global charts and hit 10 million views on YouTube Mirror uploads within 2 days, the company said nothing. That silence only confirmed what everyone already believed. This was a personal project by Jimin and Jungkook, without corporate blessing. Not long after, a former assistant of Jungkook published a long essay on an underground forum. They wrote that since last year, Jungkook had quietly voiced his desire to create something outside the system that made him. He often said he felt disconnected from the music he once loved. That sometimes, the label and schedules forced him to bury his personal truth, they wrote. And Jimin? The assistant revealed that it was Jimin who first suggested running away for one night to make music like the old days, in a small room, just the two of them. He said, "If the world is too loud for honesty, at least let's be honest with each other."